So welcome back guys in this Unity game development tutorial series. My name is Kaushal, the instructor of this course, and let's get started. So what are loops? In computer programming, a loop is a sequence of instructions that is repeated until a certain condition is reached and an operation is done such as getting an item of data and changing it, and then some condition is checked such as whether a counter has reached a prescribed number. So basically there are three kinds of loops used in C# language, and which includes for loop, while loop, and a do while loop. So let's see what are these loops practically. So again guys, open this GDB online compiler, or you can say the debugger, and let's get started with the for loop. So suppose you want to iterate over a number 5 times, or you want to iterate or you want to execute a certain same line 5 times. So what you have to do is you have to use a for loop. So syntax for a for loop is you need to type in a for, and then you have to instantiate, or you can say create a variable integer, which is you can name it anything. Also I would like to name it as I and assign it a value 0 or any kind of a number, and then add a semicolon. Now what you have to do is you have to set a range for the I, for that is how many times do you want to repeat this this block again and again. So iterate over this block again and again. So I would like to iterate over that set of block 5 times. So let's create an I which is less than 5. So until I is not equal to 5, this loop is going to execute it. This loop is going to execute itself. And now let's again add a semicolon and add I plus plus. What does I plus plus means? I plus plus means after every execution of a state, after executing the set of block one time, it is going to increment the value of I. That is at first, at start, the value of I is 0. Then after it executes all of the statement encoded within those curly brackets, it is going to increment the value of I. That is, it is going to set it as 1. So now let's create a scope, which is the curly bracket, open and close the curly brackets for the for loop, and now execute this. Now let's print what we want to print over the console. Let's write what we want to print over the console. So I want to print my name 5 times in a row. So this is it. We just need to write this console.writeLine syntax, and you have to add whatever you want to print over the console 5 times, and then add a semicolon at the end, and let's run the code. Crucial, now my name is going to print 5 times in the console. So as you can see guys, my name has been printed 5 times. So let's scroll, or you can say, yeah, no need to scroll that console. As you can see, my name has been printed 5 times over the console. So that's it. This is all about the for loop. Now, so guys, let's do something else with this for loop. So suppose I want to print the value of I. What it would be in every block, or you can see in every iteration. It is going to change because we are incrementing it after every iteration. So it would print 0 to 4, all of the numbers over the console. So as you can see, 5 numbers has been printed, which includes 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is it. Now if you want to iterate over this, from 5 you want to print 5th number, which is 5. You want to print 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 over the console. So what you have to do is instead of 0, where we set I as 0, we have to write over the 5. We have to edit it with 5, and now with the less than sign we have to make it I greater than 0. So until it is equal to 0, it is going to get executed, and instead of plus plus, let's do it minus minus. So what it would do is after every execution, after every iteration, it is going to decrement the value of I. So now let's see what happens after we run this code. So as you can see, the output was as expected, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Because we decremented the value of I. So now let's take a look over the while loop. So what is a while loop? Now let's enter the while syntax. The syntax for the while loop is going to be while. You have to write a while keyword, then add the parenthesis, and within this parenthesis you have to add a condition. This is just an hard-coded statement, condition. It is not a valid syntax, but there should be certain condition. Let's create an integer I outside of this while loop and create a variable name v, which where we assign it a value of 10, and then we end it with a semicolon. Now let's inside of this condition block, what we can do is we can set if v not equal to 20. Now what I have done is, while v is not equal to 20, this block, this scope is going to get executed. While this is not, there is no fixed amount of time that when v is going to be 20. So what we can do is we can increment v after every iteration. So if we increment v after every iteration, what we can do is console.writeLine, and let's print v, the value of v, and let's increment this after this console.writeLine. So what we are going to get as an output is we are going to get 10 to 20 numbers, all of the numbers. So let's see what happens. As you can see, 20 has not been printed because the condition is v not equal to 20. Now since when the 19th one has been printed, when the 19th number is printed, then we are incrementing the value of v, which becomes 20, and once it becomes 20, it goes to this condition and checks whether v is equal to 20 or not. But since v is equal to 20, it is not going to go over the second line, which is console.writeLine. So therefore 20 is not going to get printed over the console. So if you want to print 20, you need to increment this 20 to 21. Now if we run this code, then it would print from 10 to 20, all of those numbers. As you can see, 10, 11, 12 and so on, all of the number has been printed until 20, because after 20 has been printed, the v is been incremented to 21. So our condition says that if v is not equal to 21 and if it is getting equal to 21, then the scope which is of the while loop currently working, while loop, the scope which is consisted by the while loop, which is where the while loop has to execute itself, is not going to execute because the condition has been satisfied. So with that said, guys, let's take a look over the do while loop. So what a do while loop is, to enter a do while, to create a do while loop, what you have to do is type in a keyword do and then open and close the curly bracket, and then at the last enter a while keyword, and within this parenthesis you have to write certain condition. So condition can be expression. So let's again create an integer v and equals to 12. Now while v is not equal to 12, while v is not equal to 12, it is going to console.writeLine, or you can say 13, console.writeLine v and v plus plus. Now if we run this code, what would be the output? Let's see. 12 is the output, because once the condition, what we have to do is we are running in the do while loop, and then we are printing v, and then we are incrementing the value of v, and once we increment those values, after the do while scope has been executed, it is going to jump over the while statement, it is going to jump over the condition which we have created. So since v increments itself from 12 to 13 and the condition has been satisfied, the 13th number is not printed over the console and the iteration stops there. So this is that's it about the while loop. And let's take a look over the So in the next lecture, guys, we are going to study about the functions.